There's a windstorm going on. Welcome into the Warzone Sports Network. I'm your host, Tony Tucker, here of the Final 8 NFL team prediction that Joe Morley on the top right, top left, Michael on the microphone. We will be going through all the teams, breaking it down where we're at. I'm going to do my best to not fully just take a Hummer and run this Bengals bandwagon off the road during this show. I'm going to do my best because I'm happy for the Bengals, but I'm a little tired of all the coverage I am seeing of them when I turn on sports talk. We will get into some of the teams that exited the playoffs in this past week. And then we will give who we have in our Final Four and maybe even who we want to see. Not even that we think they're going to win, but we would like to see them win and move on to a championship game. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
I'm doing great. A little worse now. I'm next to Joe, but
I'm doing good. Like I said, I love football playoffs. I love this time of the year. Even though my team's out of it, I get to make fun of all these other teams. Especially like the 49ers, the teams that that are on the quest for 6 that aren't going to get there. You know how it is, Tony.
Yep. The Cowboys fans who took it that game really hard, and we were talking about this off the air. I don't know if there's an agenda for this show, but which team got screwed harder? Like, was it the Raiders or the Cowboys, in your opinion? Before we get into our final whatever, because in my opinion, it's not even close. Joe's Raiders were screwed way harder. And the problem with the Cowboys getting screwed is that they continuously do them to themselves every single time. I saw a bunch of Cowboys fans losing. That's what they said. They said the referees screwed them. Like, even the fans were all compiled together being like, can you believe what just happened? I'm like, yeah, your quarterback called a QB draw from the 40-yard line when you guys were down 6 points. So, yeah, I can believe that the game ended like that.
Well, if the Raiders did get screwed, they deserved it because they're the Raiders. But I don't think either team really got screwed. I've watched that play back at least like 3 times from the film angle. And all 3 times, I agreed with myself that Trevon Moehrig was not stopping that touchdown regardless. And the Raiders just want technicalities to call touchdowns back. And I'm also confident the Bengals score again.
What's the rule? Mike? When the whistle blows inadvertently, you stop the damn play. No matter what the result is, anything. Does that mean the Bengals would have got the ball again? You're going to replay the down. Does that mean that they're not going to score the touchdown? No. But you replay the damn down. That's what you do.
Well, then I got a rule for you. When the referee is having a hard time spotting the ball, they're supposed to stop the clock and spot the ball.
That's when I wish the Raiders would have had a coach like Staley, and they could have just said, timeout.
I didn't flow at all in this.
You just wanted to bring it up. I'm live on YouTube. We're live on YouTube, live on TikTok, everywhere. So if you guys are watching Warzone Sports Network on YouTube, hit that button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're here with Mike on the Mike Sports, Tony Tucker, and myself, and the final 8 of the NFL season. This is the best part of football season and the worst part, right? Because we're all excited, August, September, about it, getting ready. And then this start's coming up, Tony. Like when the end of fantasy football comes, like you get sad and you're like, and now the Super Bowl's coming because we're all excited. We love the Super Bowl, especially me because I love to eat buffalo wings, all that stuff. And the Super Bowl comes. But then we know that long drought of no football is coming up too. That long drought of no football.
Yeah, it really is like the sad time, but I think they've done such a great job of giving coverage the whole time. We got a Rams fan in the building. Can't wait to talk about the Rams. A couple of Rams fans, it looks like. But yeah, I can't really complain because it's so entertaining and they've given us now an extra week of the season. The only thing I would do if I was the NFL is I'd stretch the season out a little bit more and I'd give an extra bye week. Like, I'd find a way to make the season just a little bit longer. Stretch the season into like the early part of March, and then you can give way to college basketball. Because I'm trying to get into basketball season more and more, but every time I turn on a Lakers game, I got to watch Russell Westbrook turn the ball over 58 times. It's like, I don't want to watch this shit. I got better things to do. So I watch Always Sunny reruns. But I think that football gives us everything it can give. So I'm not really as sad as I used to be when I was young. Like, I'm kind of like, okay, let's get into it. Let's look at salary caps. How can they improve? Why haven't we fired Brandon Staley yet? And
come on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mike, why haven't we fired him?
That's too far. I will say this. I agree with you that this season's been very entertaining. It's one of my favorite NFL seasons so far. And I'm glad to see that I think we have the 8 best teams playing right now. Which team would you take out and plug in as a top 8 team?
Oh, I'd put the Chargers above the Bengals, but
we did beat them pretty badly.
Okay, and that's another thing. Charger fans need to stop that crap. Oh, we would have put up a better game than any of these other teams, but you didn't. You're not in the playoffs. Shut up. You didn't make it. So if you would have put it up, you would have been better. The Eagles made it, and you didn't. The Eagles got a chance to go get blown out by Tampa Bay, and the Chargers were at home watching it. That's the funny thing, right?
He asked me who I thought were the best 8 teams, and I have the Chargers there.
Whose is that, mine or yours? It's probably mine. There we go.
Anyways, where do you guys want to go first?
Let's start with the game that you have up right there.
This one?
I like it.
The big one? Vengeance for the Buffalo Bills? Tony, what do you think about this one?
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. So
warm us up usually.
This is the game that I am anticipating the most, right? Like, I feel like these 2 quarterbacks, either one of them gives me the most entertaining Super Bowl, right? So my heart roots for what's going on, Steezy? My heart roots for the Buffalo Bills. Always has. I grew up. My introduction to football really was the Buffalo Bills losing 4 Super Bowls in a row. Like, that's when I started watching football. So I have always had a soft spot for the Buffalo Bills. I would love to see them get back to the Super Bowl. I think that this game is when I say we, I mean everybody. They kind of love Patrick Mahomes maybe a little too much, in my opinion, right? Like, they've just put him up there. He's done amazing things. He's only lost 2 playoff games to Tom Brady and whatever else. But this Buffalo Bills team that stumbled, I think they got stuff back just in the nick of time to be able to go to KC and pull off a very close victory. I don't think the weather is going to affect this team. I think they have playmakers on both sides of the ball that can play there. I think that this game comes down to whichever team isn't going to make like a special teams mistake. Like, is McCole Hardman or Beasley or somebody not going to fumble the football and give up a cheap touchdown or whatever? So I'm going to go in a very narrow game. Like, I want this game to be like 29-27. Like, it's going to be that kind of a football game. The Bills get the victory. We start to crown Josh. Has Josh Allen become the cute? Like, that's what all the conversation would be on Monday if Patrick Mahomes is knocked out. Buffalo wins 29-27. Joe, you're shaking your head. Why?
Because he said he got the Chargers and the Raiders winning.
Just
with
like
Brian Flores coaching. No, I like it, Tony. I'm hoping the Chiefs put up a better fight than the Patriots, right? Is that because every game last weekend, besides the Raider game, were basically blowouts. You could say the Niner game was good, but I always thought the Niners were going to win and never thought the Cowboys had a chance. But I like everything you're saying. But I like Buffalo, and I want to go with Buffalo, and I don't want to underestimate the Chiefs because we know what the Chiefs are made of. We've seen them the last 2 years. We know what Andy Reid does. And you're telling me to go with Sean McDermott, and you're telling me to go with Brian Dable and Leslie Frazier, and trust them against a Super Bowl winning coach, Super Bowl winning quarterback, a Super Bowl winning team, that somehow turn it on at this time of the year every year, no matter how bad they're doing. And how many have they lost? How many games have the Chiefs lost in the last 12 weeks? Like one?
Yeah, not many.
And the Chiefs are riding high, but Buffalo's riding high. But I deep down inside am going with Buffalo, and it's not because I hate Kansas City. It's not because I'm a Raider fan or anything like that. Could be, but it's not. I mean, biased opinions are always great opinions, right? But I really think Buffalo has. This is the year to do it, right? If Buffalo is going to do it, this is the year to do it. Kansas City is not playing AA football; they're playing A- football. They're right there. But this is the year that if we ever saw Kansas City ready to get beat, this was the year to see it. But I don't know. Josh Allen better put on a show. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, who's the better quarterback? Josh Allen, by far, right? In my opinion, your opinion, probably. So I'm taking Buffalo.
Wait, you think Josh Allen's better than Patrick Mahomes?
Oh yeah, by far.
Well, that's ludicrous.
But I'll take Buffalo. I'm taking Buffalo over the Chiefs.
Okay, Mike.
That was very up and down. I had no idea where you were going.
You didn't know where I was going. That's why I was like,
Bills. I just had to wait till the end to hear it. But yeah, I mean, I agree with both of you. I'm going with the Bills as well. My heart wants the Bills to win, and ever since I saw the Bills do what they did to the New England Patriots last week, now my brain is on board with my heart, and that's when I can feel confident in a team. I think that the Bills' defense is better than the Kansas City Chiefs, and now we're at a point with how hot Josh Allen's playing, and if he continues this, the offense is better too. So give me the Bills to win it, although the Bills don't want me on their side because I'm not very good at picking.
No.
But I think the Bills can do it. The Bills can do it ugly, or they can do it sort of in that Kansas City Chiefs blow 'em out fashion. And I think that's the difference between these two teams. If this is an ugly game where both offenses are kind of sluggish, you're going to get a little bit of extra bonus from Josh Allen's ability to like run and pick up those crazy rugged first downs. And I want to see that. Like, I don't want to see Josh Allen say, well, I got to go out there and I got to make more highlights for SportsCenter than Patrick Mahomes. Because Mahomes is going to give away a couple of balls in this game trying to put on a show. It's just what he's been doing. And teams are becoming patient and they're waiting for it. And they're picking off him doing stupid stuff with the football. Micah Hyde, another great interception, or Poyer, or somebody's going to get their hands on a football in this game. It's a bit of a bummer that Tre'Davious White does not get to be on this run with them, because that would make the Bills even. Yeah. I would feel that much stronger about it.
Yep, and this is going to be a good game. Remember, the Bills beat them 38-20 earlier in the year. A long time ago. It feels like it was longer than it was ago, but the Bills did destroy them earlier on in the season.
Yeah.
So we shall see how it goes. But we're all rocking with the Bills. We could.
So should we do
sweet little
old school finger touch here?
Here we go.
Oh, you enjoying that?
Oh, Tony.
Handful of lingonberries.
Let's stay in the AFC.
Oh, there we go. Tony's game of the week right
Cincinnati.
here. Tony Tucker's game of the week, folks.
What do you think, Tony? Joe
Okay.
Burrow?
I hope that there are some Bengals fans in here, because I'd like to say this. I love what you guys did. I love how you turned it around, worst to first, all that good stuff. You get to, really sort of rib the older brothers who are always beating up on you guys between the Steelers and the Ravens and whatever going back. There is some sort of weird arrogance going on with people who either like the Bengals fans or the few Bengals fans that are on TV. But what are you guys talking about? Like, all of a sudden now that the Bengals are like some colossal powerhouse that we need to be looking out for Joe Burrow because he gives fun interviews, because he smokes cigars, because he wears gas station sunglasses. All of a sudden I'm supposed to think that Joe Burrow is the second coming of Joe Montana because the guy won the first playoff game in 31 years. Oh, did you know they haven't won a playoff game since texting wasn't? I don't care about any of that. They beat the Raiders at home. Congratulations. The Raiders were such a mess this year, and it took, to me, kind of a couple of breaks in their favor to even get their win against the Raiders. And I call Joe in our text chain. What did I say? Underthrown ball by Apple. Apple was in coverage, but Tart got the interception. Anyways, I knew how that game was going to end because it was Derek Carr. In this game, To me, the Titans are the better team. They have the better defense. They've played better for the majority of the year. They've beaten tougher teams. They're at home. They're getting back King Henry, the guy that we all thought was maybe had a shot to be the first non-QB MVP since all day. And we're not. Even if Derrick Henry isn't quite the guy, he's enough of a distraction to be the guy. I could see this game starting off a little slow, the hype machine getting out of control on Twitter, right? Going, oh, the Bengals scored a touchdown, and they get a field goal, and it's 10-0. And then all of a sudden, the turnovers and the sacks are going to start coming. And then the Titans get rolling, and this game is like 38-13. Like, this game, to me, does not really feel that close. I'm not, like, thinking to myself, like, oh, Jamar Chase is unstoppable. They'll have a game plan for him, and maybe T. Higgins is the guy who has a big game. They'll put up some numbers. I just don't see them dominating the Titans the way that sports talk is going crazy about Cincinnati Bengals right now. Slow down, Bengals. Here's not even a hot take. Every year, one team that makes the playoffs this year doesn't make the playoffs next year. I think that game gave us two opponents. The Raiders and the Bengals aren't making the playoffs next year. Neither of those teams from that game will be in the playoffs next year.
First of all, how dare you? How dare you, Tony Tucker, come on to this show and talk crap about the Raiders like that? The Raiders were a playoff team. They went 10-7. They did better than the Chargers and some other teams I don't want to mention. But I'm just letting you know that the Raiders, give the Raiders some respect. 10 wins team, give them some respect. They weren't just a pushover. They went out there and they played hard. And now this game, the Bengals and the Titans. The Titans they haven't been a solid number one seed. For some reason, they are the number one seed. I don't know how the hell they pulled it off with the injuries of Derrick Henry, with the injury Julio Jones and A.J. Brown, but they've done it. I saw something about when Brian Bolster said the Tennessee Titans have used the most players of any other team in the NFL this year. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but that's one thing they did. But I don't see it, Tony. I can't see it. Their defense has been getting better. The Titans' defense has been getting better. But the Bengals' offense is unbelievable. And Jamar Chase was the pick. You can't tell me they're not unbelievable, Tony. The Bengals' offense is good. Now their defensive tackles are banged up. They only had 2 left at the end of the Raider game. I don't know what they did this week to shore it up. But you know how you beat a team like Derrick Henry? With Derrick Henry and you beat the Titans, you put up points. You're going to tell me the Bengals are not going to put up 30 points this weekend? 30 points they're not going to put up.
No, they're not.
You're crazy, Tony. Bengals win this game. They win it easily.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I think that I'm rocking with the Titans as well. I think that there's some matchup problems for the Bengals. The Bengals O-line is still average. Titans D-line is a little bit underrated with Simmons and Landry and Bud Dupree and company. I like the Titans D-line just a little bit better than the Raiders D-line, and the Raiders got after them a little bit last week in the second half. And the biggest reason why I don't think the Bengals are going to win this game, because in order for the Bengals to win this game, they're going to need that 30, Joe, or they might even need 35 or 40. And last week, I don't know if you noticed. You should have noticed, because it's the only reason your team had a chance after giving up 20 points in the first half. The Bengals offense completely slowed down in the second half. They let their foot off the gas pedal big time. They cannot let their foot off the gas pedal in this game against Tennessee Titans. The Titans are going to be full go the entire way. The Titans got to believe they should win this game. They're the number one seed, despite all of the injuries, despite all the problems they had this year. They got to win this game. They're expected to win this game. Okay. But yeah, I do agree, Steezy here, and with Tony. Joe saying it's going to be an easy win for the Bengals is pretty crazy, and Tony saying the Bengals aren't making the playoffs next year is pretty crazy.
But okay, good. Give me my one shot here. You guys mean to tell me that after you've watched Bengals football for however long you've watched it, you think all of a sudden now all the problems are solved, right? That the Ravens are going to be as bad again next year. You guys realize that the Bengals are going to have a first place schedule next year. That the Pittsburgh Steelers are not going to be held down by an aging quarterback that they're trying to gracefully wisp off into their, like, they're going to find somebody that gives them a better shot to win. They're not going to go with Mason Rudolph. And then the Browns, They have too much talent to be that bad. So Baker Mayfield would have to suck ass again next season for them to be that bad. So you're telling me a team that got to 10 wins in one of the toughest divisions has now figured it out and they're just perennial playoff performers? They're not making the playoffs next year. And everybody's going to be like, well, they were so good last year. A lot of teams do that. But yes, I get it. He smokes cigars. He's really cool. He's very calm at the microphone. He's got a great jawline and a good head of hair. Fantastic. None of that means anything when next year, when they get a bunch of first place teams in their non-divisional schedule, they're going to get 3 other first place teams, and it's not going to be fun for them. It's not going to be. They're not going to get a bad Ravens team again. They're going to have to play the Browns and the Steelers twice. It's a tough division. They're just not. It's not happening. I'm sorry.
I don't care about next year. I'm talking about right here, right now, playoffs. The Bengals, no matter what their history is, what the future holds of them, are playing good football right now. Joe Burrow is playing confident football. That's what you want. Who do you want? You want Ryan Tannehill or you want Joe Burrow?
Joe, listen, they beat the Raiders. You're a Raiders fan, and for 5 weeks ago, you told me the Raiders not only were not going to make the playoffs, they didn't even belong in the playoffs. They were garbage. That's the team they beat.
I say a lot of shit.
Now we want to use Raiders logic all of a sudden.
Hey, Joe Burrow. You know what I want to see? You know what I want to see from Joe Burrow this weekend? I want to see him throw for 5 touchdowns, go and put his fur coat on the sideline, and be like,
I tell you what. I will definitely change my tone on everything I've said about the Bengals if they go to Tennessee and get a victory against the Titans. Like, I will be perfectly fine readjusting what I have just said. I just don't think that's going to happen. And I think there's going to be a lot of people who are just talking about how excited we are about the Bengals going forward. And so am I. Like I said, I'm happy for the Bengals. I'm just a little confused as to how come all of a sudden you can solve 35 years of bad football with 1 playoff win at home against the Raiders. I just don't understand that.
Hey, every year there's one team, Tony.
That's insane to me. That's insane to me, Mike.
Go off topic for a little bit. You crazy. He said the Raiders can have Russell Wilson. Just give us Derek Carr, Max Crosby, and another solid player plus 3 first-round picks. You think Russell Wilson's worth that crap? Get that out of here. Russell Wilson ain't worth a can of corn right now.
So one of the dumb mainstream guys was saying that they should trade 9 picks for Russell Wilson. But this guy right here is why the Bengals are fixed. And it's not just him alone. They've got 3 wide receivers on team-friendly deals for the next 3 seasons. And they've also got an offensive line that's at least average now. And you add a piece here, add a piece there, and now all of a sudden they're good. The defense is coming around. They have a legitimate pass rush in Cincinnati finally. This team's going to be good next year, and this guy is going to be a top 5 quarterback next year, and the Bengals are probably going to win that division. I think it's a 2-headed race unless Pittsburgh gets Rodgers or Russell Wilson. It's going to be number 9 versus number 8 for that division.
Joe Burrow over Justin Herbert all day.
If Baker's the quarterback in Cleveland,
Joe, do not get me going on that train right now. I will lose my shit if you say that out loud.
Actually, I have a TikTok coming out tonight comparing Herbert's stats to Burrow's stats, and Herbert beats him in every.
It doesn't matter. You know what you compare? You compare playoff. You compare playoff wins right now.
So you're telling me 1 playoff win makes
Herbert,
up losing
0,
in every
Burrow,
other
1.
check mark. Every other check mark except for
at the end of this year,
a single playoff win versus a shit team. Oh, don't even get me going.
At the end of the year, when Burrow's like this, kiss the ring, you're going to be like, what?
Kiss the ring. If the Bengals, Joe, I'll tell you this right now. I won't watch a single football game next year if the Bengals win the Super Bowl. How's that for you? That's how confident I am that they're not. I will give up one of my greatest joys in life, other than my children, of course. I love you guys. But I will give up watching football next year if the Bengals win the Super Bowl because I will have no idea what's going on. I will have seen insanity.
Joe Burrow has ice in his veins, and he'll have ice in his eye sockets, under his fingernails, in between his ears, if he has to go to Buffalo.
Here's the thing that scares me. I am putting a lot of stock in Ryan Tannehill just playing good football. Doesn't even have to be a hero. I just need him to play good football. I'm putting a lot of stock in that. I do think I think Tennessee's defense is much better than people are giving it credit for on TV. They just are assuming that the Bengals are going to put up 40 points when they only put up 23 against the Raiders.
26, okay.
Yeah, 3 more. I think that
Whatever.
the Titans would win without Derrick Henry.
I do. Yeah, I was still going to pick them whether we did the show on Tuesday or Friday, and we didn't know the status
Did
of
the
Henry.
Titans win a Super Bowl with Derrick Henry last year?
No.
Did they win the year before?
We're not saying they're going to Super Bowl. We're just saying they're going to beat the Bengals. That's all.
Yeah.
This is their first game of the playoffs.
I got it at home.
Who they?
Slow start, but they turn it on, and it's a pretty big win. Let's go Titans. I'm ready to tighten up.
Here we go to Green Bay, where that bad mess is taking on the San Francisco overrated 49ers. What do you guys think?
Joe, you want this one first?
Yeah, Joe, go for it.
Overrated. Right? Like, San Francisco barely got into the playoffs. They barely beat the Rams in Week 18 on some fluke plays. They brought it in. Then they go and they face the Dallas Cowboys, which everybody's like, they're the number 3 seed. Well, no shit. They played in the NFC East that have nobody. They played one of the easiest schedules, and they beat up on everybody. And of course, you have to give the division winners a top seed and a home game. And then you go in there and you beat the Dallas Cowboys, and you want to brag about that. Like, beating the Dallas Cowboys is nothing. Unless you're a Raider fan, that's nothing. Because, I mean, I brag about it because that's all we get. But the Dallas Cowboys are known for choking and known for losing. They're nothing. The 49er fans are riding high on nothing. And then I put a TikTok up, Tony. I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if anybody's seen it. But I know it has like a couple of thousand views. And I've been talking crap about how the Packers and Aaron Rodgers are going to win this game. And all 49er fans have on me is, if they don't insult me for being fat, that's all they have. Then they say, did you know that Aaron Rodgers is 0-3 against us in the playoffs? I don't give a damn about that. I don't give a damn about that stat. And then they go, well, we beat the Dallas Cowboys. Okay, cool. And then another thing. Well, any year, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Well, no shit. But they can't give me any stats of why they're going to beat the Packers. Tell me who on the 49ers defense is going to be able to stop anybody on this Packers offense.
Sure. Fred Warner.
Did you not just see Fred Warner leave the game last week?
Well, he's playing, I believe, but he's one man. Nick Bosa's playing too, I think.
Nick Bosa. Can Nick Bosa make it through a whole game 100%?
I have no clue. Go Bosa Bros, though. I say the 49ers are overrated. I mean, for one, Joe, I think you look good. I'm more into the bigger guys anyways. But for two, I don't think that they're overrated necessarily because of all those reasons. But I think that game between the 49ers and the Cowboys, the one I was most excited for, the one that I thought was going to be an absolute thriller, entertaining game, turned into a choke fest. Everyone's making fun of the Cowboys for choking. And yes, they did choke. They should have won that game. They played awful for 3 quarters. If they just played good for those 3 quarters, they probably win that game by 10 points. But people forget that Jimmy G, pointing at quarterbacks again, almost completely choked in that game. Like, completely choked. He threw a dumb pick in the 4th quarter, and then that Kittle fumble saved the 49ers' asses. But when they needed big first downs, they weren't giving Jimmy G the ball on 3rd and 10. They were handing it off to Deebo Samuel because they were worried about him throwing interceptions. I can't believe in that to go and beat that. There's no way.
49ers believe in their team, but they can't believe in the quarterback they have. They don't even know what quarterback they like, Jimmy G or Trey Lance better.
See, I think that this season has shown exactly why the 49ers gave up 3 first-round picks or whatever to get Trey Lance, because they needed somebody at that position that is dynamic, right? Like, the 49ers won 10 or so games this year with, like, injuries on defense. Again, it seems like every year they have a bunch of injuries. Injuries running back. They lost Raheem Mostert in the first 30 seconds of football. Like, they lost guys in the preseason. Whatever the injuries are. They don't have that dynamic player at the quarterback position. It is not Jimmy G. I don't care how many times he wins games and continues to make playoff appearances and whatever else. He's not the guy that's getting you over the top. When you need a big throw, he always seems to tighten up and overthrow the football. Always. He's always overthrowing wide open receivers. They're going to Lambeau. It's going to be a cold game. I think they've had time to rest. I think one of the big changes for the Packers is that they're coming into this with an actual good defense for once, like a better defense that we've seen them have in other Aaron Rodgers. Like I don't want to go there. I think it's better than that they've been in the past. I don't think that they can just run the ball 40 times and only pass 7 times to win this game. If anything, I think Rodgers can throw less and rely on A.J. Dillon a little bit in this game.
Yeah.
And little screen passes to Aaron Jones. They're getting Randall Cobb might be back in this game, which gives him a nice familiar weapon there. I think the Packers not only should win this game, and I hope Aaron Rodgers loses. I really do hope he chokes at home. It bolsters my argument for why Brett Favre is better than Aaron Rodgers. But I don't think that happens. I think Aaron Rodgers wins this game pretty comfortably, somewhere around 30-21, 34-21. It's this game is made for Aaron Rodgers to win this game. NFC Championship game set up nicely for a rivalry to be renewed, and it'll finally be a fair fight. That's my prediction.
The Packers' Achilles heel last year, the guy that lost them the NFC Championship, Kevin King, who was their CB2 last year and had to guard guys like Mike Evans and Scotty Miller and whoever in the NFC Championship game, this year is their 4th string cornerback. That's how much better this Green Bay defense is. I like the field.
I like this comment here by Omar. Jimmy should go to Washington.
I had 31-21. Actually, if they actually do get rid of Wentz, I would like to see him in Indy.
I don't know.
I think they'd be much more successful, but
I don't know if you guys seen this video, but this is one of my favorite videos right now, and I just put it up here. And it goes good because this is the only player the 49ers basically have. But here, I'm going to play it for you real quick.
Debo, what position do you play?
Punt returner, kicker, quarterback, wide receiver, offensive lineman, defensive lineman, fullback, running back, linebacker, corner, free safety, strong safety, head coach, assistant coach, and a plethora and a barrage of other things as well.
That's Debo Samuels, everybody.
ladies and gentlemen,
I wanted him so badly to continue the bit, to be like general manager, assistant, public relations, concession stands operator. Like I wanted him to fully take it all the way out to parking lot attendant. But that's a good bit. That's funny. I like that.
Bryce Adams always bringing the comedy. But yeah, I saw that the other day because that's what Debo Samuels. That's all they've been talking about, right? Is he a running back? Is he a wide receiver? What does he play? He plays everything, and that's like all they have. If Debo doesn't get it going, the 49ers don't get it going. And just like Mike was talking about, they don't have Kevin King starting out there. Douglas and Jair Alexander are putting it down this year at their quarterback position. That Packer defense is better than a lot of people believe it is.
I actually, I don't know. I think George Kittle has a decent game this weekend, and Elijah Mitchell has some success, but not enough. Like the Packers are a good football team. We do this every year where we just sort of write them off, and I think it's a little bit different. Even though my heart wants Aaron Rodgers to lose miserably and cut his hair and then, go play for a team outside of the AFC West.
If this was the NFC Championship, I would go with the 49ers probably, right? Because I know how the Packers are. I know how Aaron Rodgers is in the NFC Championship. But this is not. This is the divisional round. This is where Aaron Rodgers makes his money. Aaron Rodgers is going to come out here, he's going to light it up. 49ers are going to go home crying, and nobody's going to remember that they beat the Cowboys.
I'm wearing the colors and the signal of your 2021 Super Bowl champions.
Is that Rams colors? What is that?
I love you. What? I don't know what you're doing.
I'd be cool with the Rams doing it. The Rams.
Oh,
the Rams. Are they going to upset the Buccaneers?
Ref Center. Bucks, Packers, Chiefs, Bengals. More Bengals love.
But
I'm going with the Rams in this one. Why not? The Buccaneers' offensive line is kind of banged up. I don't know if Tristan Wirth got to practice today, but today was the big day to see if he was. I've talked about it, how Mike Evans is the only basically big name wide receiver that they have, and you put Jalen Ramsey on him, let the rest of the defense take care of everybody else. Is Fournette back? I don't know. Is he? Have you guys read anything on him being back? Hopefully, maybe. I think the Rams defense is good enough to take care of this Buccaneers offense, and this Bucs defense isn't what they were last year. This Bucs defense is hurting and hurting this team bad. And Matthew Stafford was brought in here for one reason, that's to beat Tampa Bay and the Buccaneers. They did it once already this year. They're going to do it again.
I came into coming into the season, I had the Buccaneers winning the Super Bowl against the Cleveland Browns. Right, I should be picking the Bucs, and I was picking the Bucs all week until I looked at it. Like, what's the one thing that we want to beat Tom Brady? And that's pressure up the middle, off the outside, whatever it is. If the center is hurt and the tackle is potentially hurt, and you have Floyd, Miller, and Aaron Donald all healthy, like, that is a great pass rush to have there. I think the linebackers for the Rams have been playing quite well. I'm going to go with the Rams to be the other upset of the weekend for me. In kind of a low-scoring game. I think that we're expecting a lot of points from this, but I do think that the Bucs defense was pretty good last weekend. Now, pretty good against Jalen Hurts, who many people are already wondering whether or not he should even be a starting quarterback in the NFL. I don't think it was like a super impressive performance, but I mean, they held him in check for most of the game. They did what they started to do last year, which was the defense got super hot, and along with the leadership of Tom Brady, the Bucs won a Super Bowl. But those two injuries to the offensive line against this defensive line, that's the thing, is that pass rush, those guys going out and getting Von Miller and OBJ, those moves were for this moment.
Mm-hmm.
OBJ played dividends last weekend. I think Von Miller had a sack in last week's game. So, like, in what is this, game's on Sunday night or Sunday afternoon? This game right here, we're going to see if all the stuff that they've mortgaged comes through. Can Matthew Stafford just not make a few boneheaded plays that he seems to make? And that's what I'm saying about we get a rivalry rekindled between the Rams and the Packers in Lambeau, and Matthew Stafford finally gets to show up to Lambeau Field with actual weapons. He gets to show up for a fist fight in, like, you know, like you imagine, like, there's 8 kids coming, right? But one side is like the one buff kid who likes computers and the rest of his nerdy friends are with him and they just get pummeled. That was Stafford with the Lions. But this time, he's coming with the entire wrestling team behind him to fight the football team, and it's going to be a fair fight. I should have worked out that metaphor in my head ahead of time, but you guys get the point. Matthew Stafford will get to go to Lambeau Field to play Aaron Rodgers, and he won't have a Lions logo. He'll have a Ram, and he'll have a bunch of legit football players on his team in a playoff game, and it'll be sensational football. But we'll talk about that if it actually happens.
And you'll get crushed. But yeah, I'm also with the Rams. I've got some big problems with GOAT bandwagging. Like last year was with Brady. Every single year in the NBA, I love riding the coattails of the greatest player ever to play basketball, in LeBron James. And this year, I just can't do it. There's too many injuries to this Bucs team. There's too much turmoil on this Bucs team. Bruce Arians slapping the crap out of one of his defensive backs in the back of the head and getting fined $50K for it was kind of gross to see. I think it's just too much for the Buccaneers to overcome, and this Rams team's legit. And after watching last week, they're clicking. Those two combinations, a legit team clicking versus a team that's in turmoil and injuries and problems, I'm going to take the legit team that's been clicking. So I'm with the Rams as well. And plus, I'm rooting for the home team, the real team in LA. Rams house, baby.
Don't you have a TB12 jersey?
I do.
Shut up, then.
I told you, I like to ride the coattails every once in a while.
All right. We got all of them.
Bandwagon fan, Tony.
I've got 4 LeBron James jerseys.
Last week, this dude was the biggest Dak Prescott fan.
0.
And now He's the biggest Rams house. Whose house?
I already gave out all the correct answers for who's going to win. I gave them out 6-0 last weekend. I gave you 4-0 this weekend. We'll see you there.
All of us. We're only one game different,
I went
right?
perfect in the AFC also, Tony.
we only have we went. All of us picked the Rams, right?
Yep.
All of us picked the Packers.
Yeah.
All of us picked the Bills.
Yeah.
And the only game we're different on is the Bengal game?
Yes.
So there you guys have it. Bye, 49ers.
Bye, 49ers.
That's all I got out of it, right? 49ers are done?
I'm excited. I'm really, really, really excited to watch football this weekend. Because win or lose, I want to be right with my predictions, but I hope that I just get to see really good, entertaining football. Sports Hines, dude, just popping in here. Good luck to your Cincinnati Bengals this weekend.
Don't wish him luck after all that you talk. Rewind the show, Sports Hines, dude.
Oh, Sports Hines, dude. I'll give you the Cliff Notes version. You guys are overhyped. You're not making the playoffs next year, and you're getting beat by 20. That's the Cliff Notes version of what I said at the beginning. Go back to about minute 7, and you can hear me rant about the Bengals.
That's what Tony said.
Again,
man.
I like the Bengals. I do. I like the fan base. I'm just a little annoyed about how the media is falling head over heels for this team after one victory against the Oakland Raiders.
Bengals win easily. And by easily, means 10 points.
Oh, my goodness. End the show. Put these people out of their misery already.
You know what you got to do, huh?
I can't do this.
Mike's got places to go, people to see. Let's get together this weekend and watch the second half. I didn't get to sit in with you guys last week. Let's watch some football together this weekend and talk some shit.
Let's do it tomorrow. But remember.
Yep. Oh, shit. Coming to the ring, standing 6'5", 400 pounds.